Alright, welcome to my little tribute to Final Fantasy VII's Remake, finally releasing on PC. Pretty happy about that. I knew it would eventually make its way here, but, it was a long wait, but if they thought I was buying a PlayStation just for one game, it wasn't gonna happen. I waited a long time for that game to get its remastering, so I could wait a little longer. But I am happy that it's here, so doing a little tribute to it, recreating the 7th Heaven bar in Minecraft. Now, of course, I follow a few rules in recreating these things. I've actually done this a lot before, a long time ago, in a much older version of Minecraft. I recreated quite a bit of Final Fantasy VII in it, but it was before sea lanterns existed, put it that way. I think concrete didn't exist yet either, so it was terracotta, so it was rough. But this, it's still kind of an impressions thing. I follow a couple rules on it. I want it to actually be a realistically usable building in Minecraft. You can get fairly accurate if you build in a ridiculous scale and use, the entire height of the world and things that you'd never actually use in the actual practice of playing the game in multiplayer or any kind of survival world. So I try to keep it within usability and functionally buildable outside of creative. So that it could actually potentially be something useful if I ever wanted to make it a real world kind of thing or use it as a map. The other part with it is you kind of have to take some liberty to it as well. Final Fantasy VII, you cannot go in every room that exists, and in the inside of places and the outside of places exist in their own universe. They do not always line up very well. As well, you may never see the inside of a place. There's a little storage room I put on the side of this. It's there in the picture in the game in the original guidebook for the old PlayStation 1 game. There's no door to go in here. There's not even a fake door where it would be. So I had to sort of make the assumption that maybe it had a back door, and it was a storage room or something like that that wasn't that significant. Same thing, you never see the upstairs in the bar. It's pretty implied that there would be one. It's a fairly tall building in the area that you are. It looks more than one story, but you never see that. There's no way to go up there, so kind of an approximation of certain things. So there are some, it's not one-to-one by any means. It's just sort of the Minecraft rendition and impression of what this would look like if it were created today in Minecraft as opposed to the original game. So I'm not going for any kind of accuracy here, just something that's kind of like, it kind of looks like it and it's in Minecraft. Good enough. And you can sort of use it as a building. But anyway, toward the end of this, I'll actually give a little tour of it, just so you can actually see the details. I had to stay kind of zoomed out because it's a small build with a lot of things in it, so zooming all around to try to show each detail as it was being done would either have to be done at a slow speed and boring, well, more boring, or it would have to be at a fast speed and be completely barfy on the camera angles. So I'll actually kind of take a little tour through it at the end of this, so you can see. And yes, I realize there's a room right there you can't actually get to. That's intentional. It's just kind of a little secret fun there. Because trying to put another door would just look dumb, so I just left it as is. Again, not a perfect thing. It's just trying to give the impression of what it would be in Minecraft to do this. But anyway, until then, I will go over the final tour with the details in it once we get to the end shortly. And welcome to the finished actual build of it. You know, you can't really do the text and things like that in this, so it's just sort of a rough impression of, you know, what it would look like in something of a Minecraft scale. Normally I'd put more greenery around and something to make it look a little more lively and lived in and interesting, but Midgar, it's the slum, you know, just trying to add in little details like this storehouse were kind of already additions being made. I didn't want to stray too far off the original, even if it would actually look better to put in some things like that. You know, it kind of defeats the purpose of the place. And here we've got like the little arcade machine that would normally be the elevator down to the basement. In an actual world, I'd put like a little bubble Vader in there so that it could be exactly that. We've got the bar, we've got the kitchen for the bar, you know. Again, added some details, but trying not to stray too far from the original. Hey, and you got a fridge that shoots beer. I mean, what more do you want? But trying to keep it sort of in the spirit of things. You know, adding in a few carpets here and there to try and hide all the lighting. I do sort of miss the days when stairs actually could hide lighting in Minecraft. That was a very long time ago. I thought I had sort of imagined that as the case, but I hunted back through the patch notes, and yeah, there was a long time ago where light went through stairs so you could hide all your torches and, you know, ugly glowstone behind it. We got a little storeroom here. See, this is part that's not in the actual game, but it's implied there's a second floor to it. So I sort of made the second floor like a living area, like you get in like European shops where there's an apartment up top and a store down below. I thought it would sort of make sense for this. And I really like the chains and the lights. And I hid glowstone under the carpet. I think that's actually a sort of a nice little way to do it, because then it looks like the reflection of the light is actually shining on the carpet rather than just a solidly lit floor. Looks a little more like how it would in an actual building. And again, plain because it's the Midgar slums. Normally I would put more detail in, but it sort of defeats the purpose. It's supposed to be drab and a sort of not great place to live. That's why the people in Midgar are miserable. But it comes out okay. And I had to at least detail rooms. I got a little bathtub, a crapper and toilet roll. I had to put at least one plant in here though. That's the best I could do with a mirror with banners. I am terrible at banners. I never used them when they first came out because dye was actually annoying to get back then. Now it's easy, but yeah, so I just don't think about them. Made a little guest room because I had to put something here, and yeah, I guess somebody gets hammered at the bar. I guess they need some place to sleep. I don't know. Like a tavern? Beats me. A little main bedroom with a desk. You know, tried to put a couple pictures in there, but I didn't want to overdo it because, again, it's Midgar. It's not a good place. The buildings are generally made out of whatever fell off the top of the place. So, trying to keep it both okay looking, but also in context to what it would be in the game. And I think it came out okay. I think you could actually make the rest of it. And I may actually build the rest of Sector 7 at some point, just for fun. But this is a little piece of it. And I think it came out okay. I mean, it's an impression of the Final Fantasy VII building. But in any case, have a good one.